Hey, it's Nay, and welcome to Hey Nay. Today's topic is smelling and dating. I know what you're thinking. This is going to be a funny one. Before I even get into the questions, I just want to say people who know me know that smelling is a thing for me. I have a hard time dealing with smells. Like, I really can't stand it. Take that into perspective before I give my answers. Okay? Cool. Would you tell your significant other that they smell? Yes. What would you do? I was gonna move on. What would you do if your significant other had bad breath? I would tell them that their breath stinks. I would, encourage them to brush their teeth, give them a mint, have gum, stop to go pick up gum, or stop to go get something to freshen up their breath. If this becomes a consistent thing, then another discussion needs to happen. Maybe this person isn't for me. And of course, this is very subjective. Other people will be a lot more lenient than I would. But hygiene is very important. And that's mouth hygiene. And I can't stress that enough. I know sometimes there's a chance that you may forget to brush your teeth one morning or something, but it's imperative that you do. What if it was a first date and they had bad breath? That would be my last date. I'm going to be completely honest. Unless the person brings it up in some sort of funny way, which is, I feel like, something that I might do. They were like, they were eating something and I can tell that their breath smells because of what they specifically was eating. So that is completely different. If I can understand why your breath smells a particular way without you needing to tell me, then that's fine. I think that's reasonable. I think anybody would be understandable to that. What are your pet peeve foods that give people bad breath? The list can go. The list can go. One of the Hey Name writer who asked this question actually brought up sour cream and onion chips and how much that irritates him. And that is very true for me too. I think those chips, the smell of those chips are absolutely disgusting. I don't even think it's worth eating it. The chips are not that good for you to deal with that smell after. It's just, oh my gosh, disgusting. It shouldn't even be a bag of chips, to be honest with you guys. That smells, I don't mind a hint of onion. You know what? Onions. I can't. If your breath smells like a lot of onions, I can't. Okay? And the crazy thing is that I eat onions, but yet my breath never smells like onions like that unless, you know what I mean? Because I don't consume that much. But for some reason, it's as if everyone is eating nothing but onions when they have some. So, no. That smell of onions itself sometimes can put you off. Can definitely put me off. There's also some cheese. I'm sorry, I can't. That's not the smell of cheese. Even the smell of cigarettes, if I was to be completely honest, kind of turns me off, especially if it comes from a woman. I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not saying that it's okay for men to smoke and women to not. That's not what I'm saying at all. So I want to make that clear. I am not saying that it's okay for one sex to smoke and one not to. I'm just saying, and this is me, I hold women to a higher standard, and that it loses the attractiveness for me when I smell smoke. You can do whatever you want. There's even girls that, I've thought were very attractive who smoke. But I just didn't smell it on them. I don't want to smell it on you. So that, I just don't like that smell. And I have a thing about it. Okay. What else? I feel like there's so many things. There's so many things that just smell bad. I feel like if you have to doubt that this is going to make your breath smell bad, then yeah, it will. What would you do if you had bad breath and realized that as you walked into your first date. I would try my best. I would rather be a little late to my first date and stop at the store or something, buy a piece, buy some sticks of gum or some mints, something like that, just to withhold the smell. Otherwise, from that, I don't really think my breath would be bad. I'm gonna be honest, unless it's something I specifically ate, and I would try to avoid that before my first date. But you know, if it did, I would bring it up. I would bring it up, like, oh my gosh, look, I just had this thing and my breath like stinks, and it becomes a joke. So like that's cool. Then that's me. So I'm not sure if everyone else would do that, but that's an example. What would you do if you realized you forgot to put on deodorant going into the first date? I don't think I would do that. But even if so, that doesn't necessarily mean that your arms will stink. Okay? Just because you miss deodorant for one day doesn't mean your arms will stink. You should put on deodorant every day, but just because you miss one day doesn't necessarily mean your arms will stink unless it's very hot or you're sweating, things like that. And it's probably disgusting. This one is a major one. Because if it happens going into your first date, there's not much you can do. I mean, you could just try to, avoid being too close. Don't be huggy. Don't do nothing. You know what I mean? Try to keep your arms down. Don't open them wide. Whatever. If the two of you get comfortable enough in which you're making a lot of jokes, you can say, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm so nervous that I forgot to put deodorant on. And I think that can also be a form of flattery for the person that, you were thinking so much about the day that you forgot to do the most important things. So I think that's okay. You know what I mean? It'd be like, I promise our second date, I'll have deodorant on. See, because you can spin things to work to your advantage. Remember that. How would you feel if your significant other told you that your breath or body smelled? I would be okay with that. I'd be like, oh, really? I probably think, you know what? I'm going to say, when someone tells you, that usually means that you probably need to take care of that. That's gotten to a certain point that you just can't, something. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've had my bumming days in which, I just like be in the house for a little bit, and I might smell a little bit, but the second someone says something to me, sometimes I'll say to myself, okay, nay, you stink, and then you just put it but I never go outside like that. That might happen indoor, but I never go outside like that. Okay? Difference. And what if it was a first date and the person told you? Oh my gosh, the person told you? That is so embarrassing. I don't know what you should do. I don't know if you're on a first date and someone's like, oh, your breath stinks. And you're just like, oh my gosh, what do you do? I don't really. I feel like there's no way out of that one, and I'm not sure. I guess if someone told me, which this is so far from reality to me, but if someone told me on a first date, and she said, your breath kind of smells. You know what I mean? If it's something I can easily explain, it's like, oh, it's because of this thing, then yeah. But even bringing up that subject, it kind of sets you back. You would have to make it up a lot in the later conversations. But your body, if the person says that your body smells, you could be like, I've been very busy, haven't showered. I mean, I don't really know how the person will take it. I think it's unlikely that the person would take it would take it well, but try to backtrack if you can. If not, just try. You know what? Why am I even doing this? Brush your teeth, take showers, use deodorant. Hygiene is important. If you're dating, yes, let's just do that. This shouldn't even be called smelling and dating. This should be called hygiene dating. And this is, we have to be on the top of our levels when we're going on dates, especially if it's someone that we really like or we really wanted to be with or we really want to get to know. So, I'm kind of done talking about all this stuff. And, for ladies who think that guys don't necessarily care about those things, that is a lie. I'm just being completely honest. Guys have told me so many, other people have told me other stories that is so funny that you probably would not even believe. Guys have told me how much girls have smile on a date, or how they stink up the place, or they poop and the bathroom exploded. Things, all that type of stuff I've heard, and it's disgusting. But that's just guy talk. But I'm just letting you know that, ladies. So letting you know that guys do pay attention to those type of things. You know what I mean? And the same thing. Guys, you need to know that, girls are paying attention to that. They may not necessarily bother them at first, but it bothers them later on. So step up your game, guys, because they'll just go on to the next. Cool. Same. I'm just being real. Everyone, let's just smell good. Subscribe, please. And remember to always start your day off with a hey. Thanks for 25 episodes and 200 Facebook likes. Thanks.